Live from a psychedelic nightclub covered in ooze, this is Podzilla. In this episode, we are joined by the host of Austin Danger Podcast, and let's be real, he's the king of podcasting himself. It's Kev, ladies and gentlemen.
It's Kev, welcome in.
I never said I was king of anything, but I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
It's so good to have you. We've been looking forward to this forever. It's just so great to have you on the show, so thank you, dude.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Now, Kev, I got to say, so you run two podcasts.
Yeah.
First off, Austin Danger Podcast.
That's right.
I'm going to be completely honest up front. I'd never seen an Austin Powers movie.
That's okay.
Before a few weeks ago, where Jaysha introduced me to the first one after listening to your podcast.
Ooh.
Yeah, dude.
Fantastic. I've been missing out my whole life.
It's a lot of fun and it's held up a lot.
It's held up surprisingly well. And in turn, that introduced me to your podcast, which is an absolute blast. I'm so thankful for the opportunity to listen to you guys. Great content. Fantastic content to listen to.
Well, thanks, man. It's so much fun to do. It's the best. It's the highlight of my week, really. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, highlight of mine as well to listen to you guys. But I've been having to deal with Micah for the past couple of weeks, just sending me Austin Powers GIFs everywhere I go. Just before this call, he was playing me Austin Powers in Mass Effect, which I think is a video that you guys talked about on your show.
Yes.
So good.
The person who does those is incredible. I think they did Naked Gun, Frank Drebin in L.A. Noire.
Oh, wow.
Which is pretty funny, too.
That would work so well.
Yeah.
I need to check it out. But yeah, we're not here to talk about Austin Powers, sadly. We are here to talk about Godzilla versus Hedorah. But first off, Kev, I mean, with the couple of guests we've had on so far, we've kind of asked them what their history with Godzilla is or what their history with kaiju movies are in general. But to be honest, I think in some areas, you might know a bit more than we do. I mean, you've watched some of the Ultraman stuff where we haven't you? Or...
Yeah, I mean, I watched about half of the Ultraman series, the original,
Nice.
which was great, which was a lot of fun. Those kind of get repetitive, but they're great. The good ones are still good. I need to watch Shin Ultraman, but that's a story for another day.
I've been hearing so good things about it.
I've heard it's so good.
But you know, my big thing was King Kong. I was a big fan of Peter Jackson's King Kong. It's one of my favorite movies. Whether it's actually great or not, I'm actually not sure. I haven't come back to it in years. But that's kind of my leeway.
Oh, awesome. So you haven't really watched much Godzilla?
Well, yeah, I had the videotape of the original as a kid, but I have no memory of ever actually watching it.
Right.
Which the Matthew Broderick, Roland Emmerich American film.
Yeah, that's...
Which, you know...
Surprisingly, everyone's seen that. That's most people's conception of what Godzilla is, alongside the new things, of course. But right. I love that you love Peter Jackson's Kong, because that's something that I really enjoy myself as well. That is one of my favorite movies growing up when I was introduced to it. So that's awesome.
We'll probably get the chance to talk about that very soon as well.
True.
Fingers crossed over here. Fingers crossed. There was a period of time where the last 20 minutes of that movie was on TV every single time I turned on the TV. And so I would just watch Kong in New York over and over and over and over again.
Oh my goodness. Living the dream.
Still watch it. Oh yeah.
Oh, awesome. We talked about it a little bit before we started recording, but I am glad we got you on for this movie. We have been having a run of movies that haven't been the best, but average in general. But Godzilla vs. Hedorah in 1971, directed by Yoshimitsu Banno. I'm so glad we had you on for this because I had a blast with it. I can't wait to get into it.
Oh, yeah. It was super fun and also very much on brand, very Austin Powers-y.
Mm-hmm.
The opening, with the opening number, I was like, oh my God.
How great is it?
I felt targeted.
Yeah.
I feel like once Toho stepped into the 70s territory, they just went full force.
Some of the psychedelic nightclub things, we'll get into it later, but it's a trip. It's a trip. I can't wait to talk about it. Another thing we've done with guests before, we thought it would be fun, Kev, but would you be up to doing a little bit of a recap or a synopsis of the movie for us?
So I wrote the recap before I went and reread the format of the show. And in the format, you said a quick recap.
No, whatever you have for us.
A lot happens in this movie.
A lot happens.
Yeah.
And also, I do want to say to your more hardcore kaiju fans, I am a new fan. I am watching all these movies for the first time. I have no historical context. I have no future context. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to get names wrong.
You're like us, pretty much. You're like us, so that's perfect.
Bear with me. But this one's really good. So if you didn't watch it, pause now and then go back and check it out. All right, are we ready?
Take it away. I can't wait.
Let's do it.
An alien from space crash lands into the ocean and soon causes the destruction of 2 tankers off the coast of Japan, Marine biologist Toriano and his son Ken are soon attacked by the creature, Hedorah, a tadpole like mutating beast who feeds on pollution. Ken begins to have visions of Godzilla and believes that Godzilla is the only one who could save them from the beast. Meanwhile, Toru's brother in law, Yukio, visits a nightclub to see his girlfriend, Miki, sing. However, the nightclub is soon the target of sludge courtesy of the monster, including one ill timed glob that drenches a cat in the stuff, which we will get to.
Yeah.
Thousands die due to the attacks, and the people of Japan begin to lose hope. They throw a party at the base of Mount Fuji to celebrate the final hours of Japan and indeed the world.
As you do.
But who's there to crash the party? Why? It's Godzilla and Hedorah, who have arrived to their final battle. Godzilla loses an eye, his hand is burned to the bone, and then he's buried in what Wikipedia describes as a deluge of chemical sludge. Not great. Toru believes the way to defeat Hedorah is to dry him out using a set of highly powerful electrodes. There's a lot of drawn out pushing and pulling in this scene where they lose power and get it back, and Godzilla fights, and eventually the monster is defeated. In the end, Godzilla rips Hedorah apart and throws chunks of him everywhere as Give Back the Sun plays once again. He looks around, surveying the piles of goop everywhere, and triggers the electrodes one more time just to make sure the job is done. Godzilla returns to the sea, but not before humanity gets one last warning glare. We are left with one thought. Will there be another?
Amazing.
Oh, bravo, dude.
What a movie. What a synopsis. Thanks, Kev.
What a movie.
I know. I don't even know where to start with this one because it is an absolute trip. I mean, you mentioned Give Back the Sun.
Yeah, which is just fantastic. I heard, maybe you'll get to this in trivia, that the dub has just a different set of lyrics.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, we listened to the dubbed song after we watched the movie just because what a song. I mean, I think with the last couple of movies, I think All Monsters Attack had a theme song and like an introduction. And then I think Space Amoeba had a little one as well. So they're continuing the series, just having these awesome opening theme songs. And I loved it.
They know why I'm there.
Yeah.
They recognize the audience 40 years later.
Absolutely. Just the visuals, like straight away from this opening sequence, it kind of introduces us to what the movie's going to be like.
鳥も魚もどこへ行ったのトンボも蝶もどこへ行ったの水銀コバルトカドミウム鉛硫酸オキシダンシアンマンガンバナジウムクロムカリウムストロンチウム
All of the budget cuts from All Monsters Attack are gone. The sins of that film are forgiven pretty quick.
And just to set the scene a bit here, this movie was created at a weird time where, what was the festival called where these movies started appearing more and more?
The Champion Festival. They're made for kids, pretty much. Yeah.
The Champion Festival. So this movie's come out at a real weird time where the director and some of the producers have wanted to push the movie to make it a bit more mature and violent and a bit darker, to go back to the original tone of the 1954 Godzilla. But then this new director comes in, but he just brings the funnest vibe to this. And I think that's why there's a lot of those 70s references. This movie is littered with animation. The movie starts off with us just with an opening musical number. Best thing in the world.
Yeah, and it plays it multiple times as well. You mentioned it, Kev, but at the very end when Godzilla's like finally defeated Hedorah, chucking sludge around, it like gives us a reprise of the song. I was digging it.
返せ返せ緑を青空を返せ
And the lyrics too, the song perfectly represents the tone and why I love the movie, which was like really happy music to the bleakest lyrics of like, we have destroyed the world and we now need to start it over. We need to give nature back what we have taken, or else who knows, will there be another? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. It's this real interesting way to tell this movie. It's dark, it's depressing, but it chooses to tell it in this colorful, kind of upbeat way. And we do see parts of it switching from darker depressing to like color and liveliness later on, which we could get into. But I mean, you guys know if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, we don't really have set points. I know you guys do usually when you record, Kev, but we probably should take it up because we just have a smattering of thoughts that we kind of go through for 40 minutes.
I did go for a smattering this time.
Oh,
I will
awesome.
say, not to reveal too much about the behind the scenes of Austin Pod, but you know, the three thoughts or whatever, we come in with them and then we kind of just find the show.
Go from there.
Awesome.
You know what I mean?
Works
So,
well.
no pressure. I do want to say up front, the main character being named Toru Yano was super distracting for me. I don't know if you guys know anything about Japanese pro wrestling,
No.
No.
way.
but there is a wrestler in Japan whose name is Toru Yano, who is a comedy character, who his gimmick for 10 years was he would come out with his DVD
What?
and he would like try to sell his DVD during his matches. And he's like this comedy guy. His big thing is this like cartoonish shrug.
Oh my.
The goofy wrestler has the same name as this scientist in this dark pollution movie.
What's on his DVD? Is it like his own private stand-up material? Or?
You know, I forgot now. I think it's like comedy skits with him in it and then matches with him in it.
I would buy that DVD.
Well, yeah. Who wouldn't, honestly?
Yeah, that sounds awesome. The thing that threw me as well with the names was everyone's got like the usual Japanese names that we're kind of used to, but the main kid in this is called Ken. And it's just so funny that his name's just Ken.
Already the kid from All Monsters Attack is obsolete, by the way, because Ken is so great and represents like, again, walking that tightrope of like there has to be hope in the world.
Yeah, you're completely right.
Because we see it through Ken's eyes, especially that scene where he's imagining Godzilla and it's the circle of life from the Lion King sunrise.
Yeah,
That's
He starts walking out from in front of it.
that's Godzilla's entrance to the movie, right? It's him just walking out in front of a sunrise.
yeah, that's right.
Oh my goodness, it's so good.
What a hero shot.
Yeah.
I'll point out as well that this Ken's introduced in a great fashion, just like the other kid from A Monster's Attack, where he's just playing with Godzilla toys once again.
Yeah.
And I love how this is a recurring theme that the kids who are part of the people that end up defeating Godzilla or defeating the monsters or helping Godzilla, whatever, they just the cutest kids who are just wanting to have fun. I can really see myself in Ken, you know?
Oh, do you? It's really relatable for you. Do we just throw canon out the window to this point? Because this kid's got Godzilla figures, King Ghidorah figures. He's got Ultraman figures.
He's got an Ultraman figure.
Yeah. Like in this world, do they just have this crazy monster that just destroys cities and then they make action figures out of it?
I wouldn't be surprised. That sounds really realistic.
I guess we have like war models, right? World War II models and stuff, which is not really the same thing, but I don't know.
In the real world, this kid's got like Soviet aircraft hanging from his bedroom ceiling.
Yeah.
Same thing, right?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, that's the real world mirroring. Exactly.
Here's something that bugged me though, is like you're gonna show me those toys, but where are those creatures? Do those creatures not care about the pollution monster that's gonna kill them too?
Yeah.
Where was Infant Island in this?
Exactly. This was like the biggest threat we have had in the Godzilla movie since the first one almost. I really loved the themes of, the pollution, the environmentalist message in this movie. Just the long, lingering shots the whole way through the movie when it just cuts to sludge in the ocean, smoke in the skies, the clock in the sludge, it cut back to a few times.
Yes, that was great.
It's awesome, eh? Like, we're running out of time, guys. Just some really, really... It brought me back to what Ashiro Honda tried to do at the start of this series. Just some really poignant, like, messages about what's happening in the world today.
It also draws that line directly from the atom and hydrogen bombs. I think Ken has a line. Even little Ken gets it.
Yeah.
Ken's got a line where it was like, first it was the atomic and hydrogen bombs, and then it became the sludge and the waste.
Yeah.
And it's even further linked. I think I talked to Jaysha about it when we were watching, but in the original movie, the way they defeat Godzilla is by using an oxygen destroyer, taking all the oxygen out of the water. This movie, they end up defeating Hedorah by blasting him with oxygen itself. So the parallels are just constantly there.
Yeah, they're crazy. What did you guys like think about them in general? Do you guys think the message was told and was it a bit on the nose or?
It's certainly like it's what people think Godzilla is in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Because the first one is so into that. And then when Hideaki Anno comes and does Shin Godzilla, it's about the failures of the Japanese government's bureaucracy in the face of the Fukushima disaster, among many other things. So I felt like it was the first one in forever to not just be fun.
Yeah.
And I like the ones that are fun, and this one's plenty fun, but I liked that there was a little bit more to chew on
Mm.
for the first time in the franchise in a long time. And then in America in 1971, they aired an ad. It's called The Crying Indian at the time, but we now know the phrase, right, to be Native American.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's this guy who turned out to be an Italian actor who played Native American for decades, crying on the side of the road because he saw pollution on the highway,
Mm.
right? Which one's more effective to you? I think it's the giant pollution monster.
Yeah. You're completely right.
I think so. And like this movie, I'd say, even compared to the original, this shows off insanely well how destructive these forces can be. In the original movie, I think we see Godzilla going around causing destruction. In this movie, the whole world is very aware of it. They're airing news broadcasts with kill counts. People, there's that segment where it's the news show and there are just boxes of people with their faces on the screen with the baby crying in the corner.
Yes, I loved that.
Yeah.
And they're just screaming out that they need to stop the pollution. All the factories needs to cease work immediately. That scene jumps out to me so much because not only does it show how much fear this is causing, but it also sets our little call to action, which is really, really fun to see done in this medium.
Yeah, it's crazy. The amount of skeletons we see, the amount of people that just end up being burnt, the amount of absolute destruction that's just takes over the whole of Japan in this movie is it's not something we expected to see at this point in the Godzilla journey.
And the hopelessness.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's just so like there is a feeling like late in the second act where you're like, man, they could really, obviously they won't, but like they just gave up.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we might as well go play guitar by the mountain because
Yeah.
this is the last time we're ever going to get to do that.
You said it yourself, they're calling millions of people to party on Mount Fuji, I believe it is, just because they want their last moments to be happy.
Yeah.
It's bleak.
Yeah.
It's very bleak. And usually in these movies, you'll have like a team of scientists working with the government and have like the commander in the army and they're all working together to stop this threat. It's like the government of Japan. But in this, it's kind of up to the small scientist and his kid to be the saving grace for the whole of Japan. The stakes are crazy. We said it before as well, but how about that cat? The slow shot of the cat just getting covered in sludge as it's pouring down the stairs.
Then it became personal.
Yeah, yeah. From that point, man, I was invested in the movie. I was in tears, curled up in a ball. That whole dance sequence, the club stuff.
Yeah. That was wild.
Yeah, can you give us insight into this, Kev? Because you see a lot of this stuff in Austin Powers, right? I feel like this is right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah,
The dancing, the music. What were the fish faces?
I can't speak to the fish faces. That's unique to this film. But I did love like the singer had not body paint, but a full body stocking that was painted was hilarious because this is a movie not for Kev, but for Ken. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can't just paint anything on somebody and put them in a bikini, right? That can't happen. I thought that was really funny. And I thought that it was trying to place it in current day. And I appreciated that. And I appreciate that we get to see like this is the kid's point of view and he believes in heroes and Godzilla. And ultimately he's right to believe that.
Yeah.
Right? Then we have the adults who are working against a system that does not know how to adjust. And then you have in the middle, people our age who are like, well, I guess that's it.
Yeah.
We're powerless. We have no hope.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's party.
Partying, drinking at nightclubs, just spending the last moments with each other. It's really, really cool how you just get to see you're completely right. The different generations and how they're kind of responding to this threat.
Yeah, exactly. Not to get too real about it, but Austin is frozen in 1967. And in the 5 years since, which is around the time this movie's out in what, 71?
71, yeah.
A very dark and cynical time for definitely America, if not the world.
Yeah.
Because, we're deep in Vietnam and Richard Nixon and Watergate and all this. Like things are kind of falling apart a little bit at the end of the free love movement. And that's kind of what we're seeing a little bit of in this children's film about pollution.
Yeah, I know.
But that really struck me. I was like, man, I could pull that out of this.
Yeah.
It was great.
I just absolutely love how they tackled it in this movie, and it's just completely unexpected, and I was just along for the ride. The young adults in the movie, or our age range pretty much, when they go up to Mount Fuji and all gather there, I just love this sequence because they say they're all going to gather at the top of the mountain, and then the movie like switches to black and white, and it's just so hopeless and desolate as they're all driving up there. And they're all just sitting around, kind of waiting for the impending doom before one of them strums a guitar and it changes to color.
Is this when the creepy people are just watching from behind the grass?
Yes. Yeah, there's like old people still in black and white that are just watching this all go on. And I don't know what you guys got from that. But I don't know. I kind of saw it as the older generations, or perhaps even people that had dealt with they're kind of like old ghosts, people that have dealt with maybe Hiroshima or something like that, kind of looking on from the past at what's happening in the movie. I just loved it.
See, like how amazing is that though, that we can pull all this meaning out of this film?
I know you'd expect something like this like directly after the original movie in the 50s, but it's taken all this time and we've gone so many wacky directions and wacky monsters and movies that seem like they don't have a message at times, and this just really brings us back to the Godzilla franchise after all monsters attack, which is crazy to me.
Well, that speaks to what is so great about this franchise and about others. Like I've said a few times, James Bond is the same way, where
Yeah.
maybe to a lesser extent, but it's always a reflection of its time, and you never know when it's going to hit you.
Yeah. 100%.
We were in the Roger Moore era for a while, languishing in the Manila age. And now here we are right back to a current political story with tons of layers.
Yeah, that's such a great comparison.
I haven't seen the more recent MonsterVerse movies. I know you have, Jaysha. You've been keeping up with them. Have you seen the newer ones, Kev?
Oh, yeah.
I've been keeping like a blind eye to them. Do those movies still keep that recurring theme of actually having a deeper message within them?
No.
No. I think like the first Godzilla one, is it 2014? It does try to have like that dark thematic atmosphere that the first Godzilla has, but I don't really get a message from it.
It becomes a bit more about the kaiju and the monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just saying a bunch of stuff, some of which, makes sense.
Yeah.
Kong Skull Island is a movie set in the Vietnam era.
Yeah.
But doesn't have anything really to say beyond this is, besides like Fortunate Son and helicopters and like everything you've seen clips of and on like the History Channel stuff.
Yeah.
Which is fine. You could do movies like that. I enjoyed Kong Skull Island a lot.
I'm the same.
That's all right. I'm hoping we'll get a movie where Godzilla fights like the ozone monster.
Well, I mean, the best comparison probably for like them going back to basics once again, you mentioned it, Kev, but Shin Godzilla, which me and Mike have both seen. We saw it at the movies, but that very much, and I can't wait till when we get to that on the show, probably a while away.
Yeah.
But that's definitely a return to form and a director coming in with a very specific message he's trying to give the audience, which I love.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with either approach, but I mean, it's right there.
Yeah, that's it, eh?
And there's always something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might hit a little more just because that's how how Godzilla originally came about. And I do like the approach that they've taken, but I'm hoping for a bit more variety and for them to go back to home base with that someday.
Yeah, we'll see. Back to Ken, guys. I want to take us back to Ken, the little kid. There's a lot of this movie that's from his perspective, and a lot of this movie, I was doing some reading afterwards, and a lot of this movie people just think are dream sequences completely. Like the first battle between Hedorah and Godzilla, or at least when Godzilla appears out of the sunset, that's apparently just all in Ken's dreams. And he talks about throughout this movie just having a telepathic bond with Godzilla, a psychic link. You can always tell when Godzilla's coming. It was that time on the roller coaster where we get that freeze frame of like a Godzilla-shaped shadow behind the buildings, which is very corny, but I enjoyed it. I loved it.
I loved it.
It's great. Yeah. It's great. I'll allow it. I loved it.
It's like this has a lot of aspects that we've come to know in the franchise, and it's kind of put them all together in this fun way.
I do believe, Jaysha, this movie came out around a time where there were a lot of actual real life oil spills happening in Japan,
Yeah.
big pollution spills. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did take that approach, because obviously Ken and the movie is about Hedorah making this panic and causing this pollution. It could very, very easily be Ken just seeing this through his eyes. You know, this is a kid who loves playing with his Godzilla toys. He makes it up into this grand battle, this grand scheme.
So Micah's new theory is just Hedorah's in Ken's head.
Yeah, calling it now.
Wow. All right. Okay.
That's interesting.
that's an interesting one.
That's interesting.
We'll chew on it.
Should we just talk about the monsters? I mean, we've darted around them for a long time. We have Godzilla and we have Hedorah in this. And this, I'll just remind you guys, there is a popular fan theory. This hasn't been endorsed by Toho, but there's a popular fan theory that every movie in the Showa era from this movie on, Godzilla is actually Manila grown up. So that kind of made me look at Godzilla in this movie in a new light when he's doing a whole lot of weird facial features and hand gestures. I'm on board. This is a theory I can get behind.
Look, if there's anything I know about Manila, it's that Manila was born in pain.
Yes.
Manila was forged in the fire, right? Do you guys read Superman comics at all?
Yes.
You know the character Doomsday?
Yeah.
The scientist who kept trying to create the perfect being over and over again. Manila's kind of like that, right? He was forged in like a centrifuge of pain. Godzilla in this film, okay? He punches holes through Hedorah.
Yeah.
He flies the creature around with his atomic breath like a jetpack. Okay. When the monster is defeated, he triggers the electrodes again to make sure the damage is done.
Yeah.
I absolutely believe that, and I'll keep an eye out on that going forward for sure.
Yeah. All good points. I mean, he goes through the ringer in this. Godzilla gets sludge all in his eyes closed for the rest of the movie. He's bleeding from the face.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, is that this is a more damaged Godzilla than we've ever seen, besides, I guess, when he was defeated the first time, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I think because this is a movie with a new special effects director for Toho. There's a clash in the company here because they wanted to direct them a bit more for the kid audience. But some people, like this special effects artist, they just want to go full force into showing how violent these characters can be. So he took over as the head of the special effects department. And I think this is the first movie, and it continues onward where there is a lot of bloodshed, especially for Godzilla, which I'm super happy about. It makes it a bit more real once you see that, oh shoot, Godzilla's actually getting hurt.
Right.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it as well. That moment when he's just chucked in a hole as it just fills up with sludge. It's just great. I love it. And then, of course, we have Hedorah in this movie. And Hedorah literally means sludge in Japanese. So it's kind of just the sludge monster. I think in the States, this was released as Godzilla versus the smog monster.
Mm-hmm.
Hedorah is just this giant walking pile of sludge, 2 huge red eyes. He has multiple stages he goes throughout this movie. First, the aquatic stage, then terrestrial, then airborne, and then the perfect stage at the end.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, the perfect stage.
I'm always a sucker for when they can get these things to fly.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why Mothra is probably my favorite. You know, King Kong's kind of a technicality.
Yeah.
It barely exists in this world, and it wasn't theirs anyway. But Mothra is my favorite for sure, because it's always so impressive. I mean, granted, after the first one, they made Mothra a larva and kept her that way.
Yeah.
Who knows why? Who could say?
We'll get to her.
Too hard.
She'll return.
But I love the way that looked.
That's great.
The airborne Hedorah was great.
He's got this like jet streams coming out him, and the whole scenes where he's literally polluting the earth just like that and causing smog to just devastate people. Not only is it a cool flying kaiju, but when he's flying, just causing mass destruction.
The aerobics lesson when they can't breathe anymore.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, that's just it's wild. The changes as well from when Hedorah's like in the perfect stage at the end, changing, it's like flashes and we see the outline back to the flying stage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a sucker for that kind of stuff. I love the way it all looked. Hedorah in general, at the end there, when Hedorah's like head's bulging out, like its brain, it's like red.
Starting to crack.
Yeah, I just loved the design of Hedorah, and I loved every single moment in this movie that Hedorah's like moving around, sucking up cars, spitting out sludge. just so unique and different to anything we've seen so far. Pretty freaky looking, like an actual scary kaiju for a change. I loved Hedorah.
I love the eyes of the final form.
Yeah.
Like Hedorah hears Godzilla and the eyes open attentively, and you're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
here we go.
Kev, do you mind if I throw some trivia in here for you?
Go ahead.
So I'm taking this off the Wikipedia page for this movie. Director Yoshimitsu Banno has mentioned that Hedorah's eyes, just because he mentioned it, were deliberately made to resemble female genitalia, with Banno joking that the vaginally inspired look made it more unsettling.
Yeah, I've read Watchmen. I know what we're doing here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know what we're doing here. That was not lost on me.
Yeah, me either.
H.R. Giger saw this movie,
Yeah.
changed his whole career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, it's so funny.
Because at the end there, Godzilla's ripping Hedorah's eyes out as well. Just these huge pearly white orbs.
Yeah. What are they eyes or are they eggs? What are they?
They are eyes. Because of the small budget, they just couldn't they couldn't make realistic looking eyes as how Hedorah's eyes looked for the previous parts of the movie. So they just used orbs. Just use orbs.
If it works, it works.
Also, we haven't mentioned it, but Hedorah also has laser beams. Really cool looking. I love those.
Oh, guys, we need to touch on it too. But to combat Hedorah's airborne stage,
Oh no.
Godzilla gets his own airborne stage.
Mm-hmm.
This is a defining moment in the history of Godzilla where Godzilla takes flight for the first time. It looks so wrong. How does this work?
It shouldn't. It should.
Shouldn't he be blasting down to the ground?
I couldn't believe that in the face of death, we were watching Godzilla fly.
Did you know that this was in this movie before you watched it?
I had no idea of anything that was. I knew that, like, I had seen Hedorah. I knew it was like a pollution story, but that's it. I was not ready for that.
You weren't prepared for the best Godzilla scene ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
It's a series peak.
Yeah. One of the greats. One of the great moments.
There is some stuff early on where, like, just because there's so many kaiju on screen, and it's like 5 dudes in suits, and then they're doing a marionette Mothra.
Yeah. Yeah.
But even that doesn't come close to this.
I'm really hoping that it's a similar situation where there's just 5 people having to move this curled up Godzilla.
Well, it's not a costume, right? It must have been, a miniature or a puppet. I didn't read into it, but
I feel bad for them.
imagine owning that piece of cinema history.
Man.
The model for flying Godzilla.
If there's any series that needs like a 90-hour documentary, it's this one. I have to know how they did every single thing.
Guys, we also have a third kaiju. I don't know if you guys saw the third kaiju in this movie, but this is the debut appearance of the Smog Factory.
The kaiju?
the Smog Factory, the kaiju, well-known kaiju known as the Smog Factory. Toho's made countless ornaments and action figures of the Smog Factory. Officially a kaiju that appears for a couple seconds in one of the animated segments. Thoughts on the Smog Factory, guys?
Oh, the animated one.
With the eyes?
That makes more sense.
Yes. Wait, there's a place I can buy that?
Yeah.
I have to know.
I know.
That was great. I loved all the cartoons. I thought all the animated sequences were great. And I loved, again, like the way that this movie shows you everything but through Ken's eyes.
Yeah.
Is just fantastic.
Yeah.
Because those scenes, they evoke those same feelings of like the PSAs you would see on TV at the time. It's not that far-fetched to think of, them actually creating these little animations showing this is how Hedorah came to be. Just that everybody can somewhat understand it.
Yeah, they're very Schoolhouse Rocky.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's probably what they're trying to do, right? Because we see that same drawing or the same animation of Hedorah like drawn around the place actually in the movie on walls when they decide to go up to Mount Fuji. There's an actual drawing of that Hedorah animation. It's pretty cool how they managed to incorporate all that stuff. Even like the small, the short science lessons we get, or of when the scientist, the doctor, is explaining to us how Hedorah, for some reason, inexplicably comes from space. We're like taught all this stuff about nebulas and about different planets and different things in space.
The Dark Horse Nebula.
The Dark Horse Nebula. It's like, yeah, I love the little like scientific tidbits, the little educational animations. Super cool stuff. I will say as well that this isn't the last we see of Hedorah. Hedorah makes an appearance in the shows Godzilla Island and Godziban, like everything else does. Cannot wait to get to that. But then Hedorah actually makes a proper appearance in Godzilla Final Wars and in the anime Godzilla Planet of the Monsters. There's also a recent short, which I believe Toho endorsed, called Godzilla vs. Hedorah. Did you mention that you watched this one, Micah?
Yeah, so like literally an hour or two before recording this right now, I watched it. It's a 5 minute short, and it was actually endorsed by Toho. They've been real cool in the recent years, where they've allowed people not affiliated with Toho to just hit up their own projects, and they give them the thumbs up. I'd say go watch it. It's a cool 5 minute action sequence between them using the actual Finals Wars costumes. It's got my seal of approval, especially for a little more Hedorah.
Oh, this is like a fan short that uses the actual costumes?
Because I've done this recently with like Gigan, right? I keep seeing trailers for like the return of Gigan.
Yes.
It was made for the 50th anniversary of this movie we watched today. They let a very young aspiring director head up a movie using the Final Wars costumes and actually filmed on the Toho parking lot. So they're fully endorsing this, which I absolutely love. And yeah, recently, Jasha, they've endorsed another filmmaker making a sequel to a Gigan short film made a few years back. So I'm hoping we see more of these because they're just, I mean, more Godzilla is never a bad thing. And especially bringing these old beloved kaiju back into the modern swing of things.
Right. Especially because with the Legendary series and the way that's going, will we see another Toho series anytime soon? I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah, one can hope, eh? Because I love, Shin Godzilla was awesome. I've heard good things about Shin Ultraman. I'd love for them to actually start going back to making some Godzilla movies, but we'll see. We'll see. I did do a little bit of research as well about the director of this movie, who was Yoshimitsu Bano, because I've never heard of him before. This is a dude who just jumped in, and this is his first Godzilla movie, his only Godzilla movie. I did a little bit of reading about him just to see why that was. And apparently, Yoshimitsu began his career as an assistant director working with Akira Kurosawa on 4 of his features: Throne of Blood, The Lower Depths, The Hidden Fortress, and The Bad Sleep Well. And he continued to just be an assistant director on a whole lot of different movies before he filmed his own debut as a director, which was a 1970 short called Birth of the Japanese Islands. I can't find anything about that movie online, but apparently it impressed Toho so much that they kind of gave him the reins to make a Godzilla movie to try and reinvent this franchise. We learned in Space Amoeba that Toho had kind of cut off all the contracts for the actors and the crew that had been working on their movies up to this point. That's why it's an entirely new cast, entirely new crew for this one. And they brought him in, and he just fell in love with this idea of Godzilla versus Hedorah. He understood that Godzilla was a symbol of Japanese concerns over nuclear weapons, and Yoshimitsu really envisioned Hedorah as this embodiment of something going on at the time called yokachi asthma, which was afflicting kind of Japan at the time this movie came out. Apparently, there was just so much urban pollution and smog that it was actually something that was affecting people living in Japan. And he was inspired by the original Godzilla to make this. Sadly, he never directed another movie after this one. He had dreams to make Godzilla vs. Hedorah 2, and he was writing a story called Godzilla versus the Mutant Starfish, which would pit Godzilla against Starfish kind of mixed with Hedorah, and he'd be going up against pollution for the second time. But then he started writing Godzilla vs. Hedorah 2, which would be a complete sequel to this. But Toho didn't give him the reins to make another movie, and his whole life, pretty much up until his death, he tried to get Godzilla vs. Hedorah 2 made. There was a time in the early 2000s when he was developing a short for IMAX called Godzilla 3D, which would bring Hedorah back into things. But that didn't come to fruition. However, it did lead to Legendary getting the rights to Godzilla for the Monsterverse. So strangely enough, Yoshimitsu was involved in the Legendary and Monsterverse movies we have today. He was given a special thanks on those movies. He was there as an executive producer, but he never got to make Godzilla vs. Hedorah 2.
This is a crime.
It is sad though. Like, he just tried his whole life to make a sequel, and this movie sets it up for a sequel. It has Hedorah in the ocean. It's like, will he return or will it return? Or I can't quite remember, but it's just really sad that he just tried his whole life to make this movie and didn't come to fruition.
Will there be another?
Yeah.
Which like now the context of that's totally different because
Yeah.
I feel like instead of it leading to a sequel, it's asking you, will you allow this to happen again? And if the last 40 years are any indication, hell yeah.
Right?
I know, right?
Bring it on.
Yeah. It's really cool how it works as that kind of question to us as the audience, as well as sequel bait. But it is, yeah, what will you do? How will you save the Earth? And nothing much has changed. Definitely not. Did you, for change, Mikey, you did a little bit of research into some trivia, right?
Yeah, so I've already said some of it, but there's actually a lot of stuff that went on behind the scenes here. So you talked about the director, Yoshimitsu Banno. This is marked as his directorial debut, and for it, because he is a new director coming in, Toho decided to give him significantly less budget to shoot with than all of the previous Godzilla films. Not only that, he was given only 35 days to shoot the film and had only one team available to shoot both the drama and monster effect scenes. He was so pressed for time that he ended up going to Ishiro Honda, the man himself, and begging him to talk to the producers to let him have more time.
What in the world?
I know.
This movie was made in 30-something days.
30-something days. Insane. As well as that, after making this movie and before his death, Yoshimitsu Banno ended up releasing a book titled The Man Who Made Godzilla Fly, his own autobiography.
That's great.
A very fitting title. Kenpachiro Satsuma, who played Hedorah in the suit, he was giving a public interview for publicity to a newspaper company while wearing the Hedorah suit. While doing that, he was struck with acute appendicitis.
What?
Had to be rushed off to the hospital. And there is a long-standing theory. They found out in the hospital that he didn't react to painkillers, so he had to bear through it. But there's a long-standing theory that they had to perform the surgery with him still in the Hedorah suit.
What?
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Which I love, and I hope it's true. It's probably not, but headcanon.
That explains why there's so much like just limply standing around in the third act of this movie.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of it.
Probably didn't want to move much. This movie is credited as being Roger Ebert's favorite Godzilla movie.
Really?
That's right. Tell him, Raj.
So he's one of the most successful movie critics in cinema history, if
Yeah.
not the most successful. And he just loves the heck out of this one. A few other things. So in the Japanese and English versions, the original song called Save the Earth. No, sorry. The Japanese song's called Bring Back Nature.
Or is it Return the Sun? There's like a few different... I think it's Return the Sun or Bring Back Nature or...
Return the Sun and Bring Back Nature in Japan. Some of the lyrics include islands, fish, where have you gone? Mercury, cobalt, cadmium, lead, sulfuric acid, just listing off these elements.
Love it.
And a few final words. Filthy, polluted oceans, filthy, polluted air. Living things will no longer exist. Fields, mountains become silent. On the earth there is nobody around who can cry, return, return, return. Blue skies, blue seas, return, return.
What a song.
It's an epic message.
Nothing says like late 60s power pop like the death of the earth.
Yeah.
Because
Right?
there's too much cadmium in the water.
Yeah. It's so catchy. How are the words what they are?
So you're right, they did retitle and fully redub the song in English, not for the English release, that kept its Japanese status. For the American International Pictures release, they had the upcoming singer Adrian Russ re-sing the song, then retitled Save the Earth. That has lyrics such as, animals, gods, animals don't go away, flowers don't go away, seas full of cobalt, it's full of mercury, too many fumes, no oxygen. So very similar themes there. She ended up claiming for a long time that her performance here was an absolute embarrassment and she absolutely hated what she did. But soon after, this movie became a cult classic, which led to her starting to produce more songs and becoming a bit more famous.
That's a good song. That's a really good song. Both the Japanese and English versions are just very catchy.
While on the topic of songs, Kev, what did you specifically think of Godzilla's theme in this movie?
Okay, yeah. The sad horns, the death of God.
Yeah, the sad trombones. Yeah. It suits Manila well, I'll say that.
Right?
see, the theory is right. We may be onto something.
Yeah, yeah.
One last thing I'll say, so final fact here. So according to several Toho sources, Hedorah is actually a female monster, one of the first we've seen in the Godzilla franchise. Director Yoshimitsu Bano mentioned about the eyes, obviously, but in the child-oriented Godzillaland merchandise series that ran from 1984 to the early 90s, Hedorah is almost always depicted as a girl with a pink color and prominent eyelashes.
Really? They yesify Hedorah.
I'd love to see the cartoon eyelashes on. I didn't know this. Wow.
Further proving this, so Jason's familiar with the mobile game Godzilla Defense Force.
I'm a big fan of Godzilla Defense Force. It's pay to win, but it's good. I don't know why I get all this hate from you for it. It's a good game.
There's no hate there. In the information section, if you go onto Hedorah's profile, it actually states and claims that the original version in this movie, Hedorah is a female, and the later incarnation from Final Wars is a male.
Oh, wow. We need more women in the Godzilla universe. Mothra's been carrying it for too long on her wings, you know?
Strong agree.
Literally. Yeah.
Also, formal apology for misgendering Hedorah this entire episode.
Yeah, me too. We're sorry, Hedorah.
Whoops.
We're sorry.
Sorry, Hedorah.
Whoops.
I quickly have about just the general reception after this movie came out.
Oh, cool.
Very mixed reviews. A lot of people either very loved the eccentricity of it, others really hating it. American Kaiju at the time said, "This movie was a confused Godzilla non-epic that doesn't seem to be sure just who it was made for in the first place. It earns points for trying something new to break away from what was fast becoming a tired formula, but it isn't as entertaining as some of the other movies that preceded it, as well as the character designs are bad and the music really kills the movie."
Oh. Wow. That is...
Watching it again with like a more modern perspective, I feel like you don't see too many movies that come out like this, and just because it is so eccentric, and like you said, Kev, with the whole bleak atmosphere of it, it's a really cool tonal comparison, and I think it works amazingly well with a current lens.
I would love to see what American Kaiju thought of All Monsters Attack, because this whole magazine is down the drain, if so.
American Kaiju. Get out of here. What?
But you know what? Maybe the Smog Monster dub is that bad.
Maybe.
Yeah, you could be on the money there.
I've had to suffer through a lot of dubs in my day because of this show.
Yeah.
I have heard that the English release is terrible.
We've been lucky on Podzilla so far that me and my crew have been able to track down the original Japanese language movies for I think every single film that we've covered. So apologies to those of you who have made watch some less than great dubs over the couple years.
Builds character.
It's true.
Other little bits and pieces I have here was that I just love the psychedelic editing and the different filters used throughout this whole movie. There's times when it kind of inverts and it flashes into complete red colors, then complete orange colors, and then multicolors. I just really loved how creative it was. I loved most of the fights with Godzilla versus Hedorah. However, I will say that the end fight I felt goes on for quite a while, and there's a lot of standing around. There's a lot of repetitive moves, which I wasn't a huge fan of. But yeah, in general, I love this.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. There was a point where I was like, the movie's only like 80 something minutes, right? So
Yeah.
I couldn't knock it too much. But there was a point where it was just like the same notes getting strummed over and over very slowly while the two creatures tried to like kind of figure it out. You felt like you were waiting for the electrodes to recharge in real time.
Yeah.
I was like, come on. I did love, there's a guy in a truck, Unit 1, who gets taken out like Michael McDonald in the first Austin Powers, where he's the guy, the steamroller at the other end of the room, and he's just standing there screaming, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's not that quick. You can get out. You don't have to just sit there and get crushed.
Yeah, I mean, there's a moments as well when like all the kids are up on top of Mount Fuji as Hedorah gets a little bit closer. Then instead of running away, they decide to pick up torches and fire and like slowly throw it at Hedorah.
Thank you.
It's doing nothing.
That was my next note.
What did they say that Hedorah was weak to fire?
It's doing nothing, and they continue to do it.
Will there be another? I'll tell you a quick story. There was a Blockbuster Video by my house as a kid, and Blockbuster Videos here, all things change with time. So it closed down and the building stayed empty for years. And one day people just knocked it over. They just demolished it and left the rubble there.
Mm-hmm.
I was at the GameStop in the strip mall across the way. And all of a sudden the guys working there start laughing because someone has set fire to the rubble of the Blockbuster.
Whoa.
And it was not a huge fire. But this fire lasted for like 3 hours and nobody cared to put it out. It just sat there on fire. And this reminded me of that. Like, geez, will there be another? Come on.
That's a great story.
I don't even think the fire department came. Geez, the giant oily monster. What will we do to save the environment? I know. We'll set it on fire. Which is a great message because kids, young adults even, well-meaning, sometimes don't have the clearest perspective on the world.
Yeah.
The way things work. I mean, it didn't do anything either, but man, even the attempt, I was like, please.
Oh, big time.
I just loved as well how Godzilla did the same. He was just blasting with his atomic breath.
Yeah.
Hedorah and all of the sludge. It just creates so much more fumes than is needed.
Hedorah is flying everywhere.
Yeah, it's a case of pollute a little bit to stop the pollution in the end, right? It's something to live by. Words to live by.
Jace is out here endorsing pollution, everybody. Don't listen to him.
No. Yeah, do we want to kind of wrap this up and each give our final thoughts and a rating for this one? Did you want to start, Micah?
Yeah, so after coming back off a few subpar Godzilla movies, I'll admit, it's really nice to get back into the swing of things with just Godzilla facing one other character, with also having a really cool theme behind it. And even though there are those tonal differences, like I said, I think they work really well. We see probably one of the most lighthearted films so far, with a lot of just fun scenes, endless dancing and singing, but also with the most destruction we've seen. Like you said, Godzilla gets most of his hand burnt off, so you can only see the bone. We see those scenes of little Ken walking up the road and seeing just bodies upon bodies that had been melted beyond repair. It's tense, and I think Hedorah being at the center of that, Hedorah might be my new favorite villain of the series.
Whoa, let's go.
Just because of how intense and how destructive of a force she is. Some of my favorite villains so far have been King Ghidorah as my number one, even on the Rancor monsters. But even in the end, in most of those situations, King Ghidorah was a mind-controlled kaiju, whereas Hedorah is purely just this force that even for most of the movie, Godzilla can't stop, and it actually takes both Godzilla and the humans teaming up to get rid of her. So I don't know, I really liked this movie. I think there were some pacing issues, specifically near that last scene where it does feel like you're waiting for those 5 minutes in real time for the generator to power up. And I feel like after the point where Godzilla starts flying with his breath, he literally just grabs Hedorah, comes back, and does the exact same thing.
You're completely right.
So I feel like you could have just cut that chunk out of it, maybe left Hedorah to die the first time. But no, there were some awesome scenes in this as well. The most violent we've seen Godzilla fight. It's really great. It's really great. I think I'm going to give this one. Oh, this is hard. I'm gonna give this a little 4 mercury-ridden gallons of water out of 5. I'm gonna pass it over to you, Kev. What did you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, I feel very much the same way. I was really impressed, even though I knew that we were kind of getting back to having a message and having it be culturally relevant. I loved that we saw the message through the eyes of three different worlds.
Mm.
Although we spend mostly, through the eyes of Ken, we see those worlds kind of like the government is kind of given up and whatever, the kids have given up. And well, sorry, the kids have hope. The young adults have no power and no hope. And the adults are kind of working on it. Right. But eventually everybody has to come together to kill the evil.
Mm.
Or will they?
No.
I do agree. I thought that final battle, they were really pushing it for me. I got to be honest.
Yeah.
But besides that, I think it's an excellent movie. I'm definitely, give me 4 gallons of cadmium and mercury tainted water for sure. I think it's the best one in ages. I can't remember. Well, probably Destroy All Monsters. Or wait, Destroy All Monsters is the Avengers Endgame one where they all come together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not since
yeah.
that one. Not since that one has there been such a film. And it's better than, like, it's no shade on any of the Godzilla movies, but it is the only one since the first one that I would consider out of the series and like a regular movie, great movie.
Hmm.
100%. I'm glad we're all there. I'm glad, like, my thoughts are similar to both of yours. This is just a really, really great movie. I really love how it has such similar themes to the original, such a similar feel to the original. I also just really love how it chooses to tell this really dark and depressing tale, full of hopelessness, in such a colorful and fun way. I don't know. I just love the creativity they use to tell the story like that. I love the kaiju fights, even though the fight at the end is quite repetitive. I just loved every time we saw Hedorah and Godzilla in this. I loved the editing, the technicolor, psychedelic, whatever you want to call it. This movie looked very visually interesting. And I was just super, super engaged. Yeah, the only things I didn't love was, again, that last fight just goes on for a little bit too long. And I would have loved a lot more of, I don't know, Godzilla getting his hand burnt off or chucked in a pit. Or I love the brutality that some of the scenes had, but then I spent a lot of time on things that were just a bit ho-hum. But I am probably going to give this movie 4.5 out of 5 barrels of water tainted with oxygen and mercury and whatever.
All the chemicals. All the chemicals.
All the chemicals. Polluted barrel of water. Yeah, I also just really love that environmental message. I think it was done in quite a great way. I mean, it's an awesome message to be telling, and I think this movie really pulled it off. I mean, this pollution's a real thing, and I think people are finally starting to get it, but others aren't. And this is something they were wary of way back in the 70s, right? And what's changed?
Mm.
It's a real kind of call to action that I don't know. I feel a bit personally inspired by it. I think more people need to watch this.
I loved that the shot of the clock came back and they did the
Yeah.
exact same shot again at the end. It meant so much more after seeing all of that struggle and pain and, hopelessness.
I'd be very happy for one of the next MonsterVerse movies to be a return with Hedorah. I think coming back to it 50 years later and seeing how not really much has changed at all, that could set up a great sequel for a film like that.
Yeah, there's still really real issues. That'll be awesome. Yeah, I mean, we had that talk about it before, but I'd love to see Godzilla movies kind of go back to telling a really current, giving us a message that's really current in the world we're living through today. Something that we can hold on to, or a call to action. I would love something like that again.
Our hope rests in the hands of Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah, yep. Kyle Chandler.
Yeah, exactly. Kyle Chandler is going to save the environment.
We had a couple of you guys send in a few messages, so thanks so much for doing that. We had really good friend of the show, Ron, who hosts Real Latinos. If you're not listening to Real Latinos, what a podcast. They kind of did a really, really great couple of movies in a row that they were covering for October. There's one called The Wolf House, which is like the stop motion, like David Lynchian kind of message at some of the stuff going on in Chile back in the day. I loved it. I'm doing a real bad job talking it up, but I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I love The Wolf House. Did you catch that one, Kev?
Great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I loved that. I saw The Wolf House. I also saw the next week they did La Llorona, which is from Guatemala, which is a great slow burn. It's on Shudder for anybody in America or has a VPN. We could check that out.
Yeah, I've been loving Real
But
Latinos.
yeah, they're on a roll.
They're definitely on a roll. If you're following along doing this Godzilla journey with us, they're doing a really cool journey through Latin American movies, and I'm really enjoying it. But this is from Ron. He said, two things Godzilla versus Man Thing does surprisingly well: animated transitions and Bond-esque theme songs. A bit drawn out, but still an entertaining kaiju bash with likable human characters, fun set pieces, a creative antagonist, and a positive environmentalist message. Excited to hear the collision of podcasting heavyweights on Podzilla versus Hedorah this week. 3 out of 5. Rod gave it.
Not bad, not bad.
Let's go.
I am the cause of most of the pollution in the New York Tri-County area. So it's true.
We also had David M send in over Discord. Shout outs to David real quick. He's been releasing weekly chapters of a fan fiction he's writing called King Kong Devil Island, which I've been able to read on my night shifts at work. Fantastic, always brightens my day. And yours truly might appear as a little cameo character in it, which is always fun.
You're in these. I read a bit of them. They were awesome. I got to finish.
It's great.
But what a community we have. This Podzilla community, guys. Crazy.
Anyway, David said, on one hand, there are some very dark and even gruesome moments in it with people being skeletonized and disfigured. Hedorah is a fantastic monster, and the scene where the kid is left standing at the water's edge calling for his dad, who at that point we have good reason to think is dead, is downright grim. Even the unexplained psychic connection with Godzilla the boy seems to have adds to the creepy feel in parts of this movie. Then, on the other hand, you have the silly cartoons, the fish hallucination, the absolutely horrible music, and of course, Godzilla flying. All that is so painful to watch that it really drags the movie down. If they had stuck with the dark and serious elements, Godzilla vs. Hedorah would likely be universally praised today as one of the best of the series. But because the movie can't seem to decide what it wants to be, it suffers greatly as a result, and so do we at points while watching it. Great review. We didn't even touch on that theme where Ken is at the water's edge, facing one of the tadpole forms of Hedorah, but another super bleak scene where he's just crying out over and over for his dad.
That's right.
Yeah. The practical effects as well, when he puts the knife up in the air and it's cutting through Hedorah's sludge. I just loved it.
Good stuff, good stuff.
What a movie. We also have a voice message from Waffles, who sent it in.
Godzilla versus Hedorah. This film genuinely scared me. Hedorah is, I think, up there with the original Godzilla as one of probably the most terrifying kaiju. That scene where it's just flying over cities and just disintegrating the population. That's chilling. And you could see Godzilla suffer in a way that he's never suffered before fighting another kaiju. He's been wounded in the past, but this time I think we're actually seeing him struggle. Hedorah is something else. And I guess as an analogy for pollution, literally inspired by smog and pollution and contamination and filth. The fact that they call this thing sludge monster is chilling. It's actually kind of really depressing that over 50 years later we're still kind of dealing with the same shit. But we don't have Godzilla and an electrolysis machine to fix it for us. Not to be cliche, but it kind of makes you think. Hard to rate, I guess 5 out of 5 weird sludge tadpoles. Really interested to see you guys break down this film and hear your thoughts on it, because I'm glad I watched it. I love you all. Waffles out.
What a VM. Thanks, Waffles. That's oh man. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head really with the themes of this film and just the takeaway, the message to us. Yeah, that's everything you guys sent in. Thank you so much for watching this film along with us. Kev, thank you so much for jumping on the show. This is honestly, no joke, it was a dream to have you on. So thank you so much.
Absolute pleasure to have you.
Well, thank you. It's an honor and a pleasure. I love the show. I love this film. I'm so happy it was this one.
Yeah, me
I
too.
loved it. Like I said, like
Mm.
no, I know I'm Mr. Hype and Mr. Hyperbole a lot of the time, but this is my favorite one in a long time
Yeah.
of the films you guys have covered. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad we had you on for it. Where can people hear more of you? Because I am a big fan of a couple of your podcasts. Where can people listen to them?
Well, thank you very much. You can come follow me on Letterboxd at letterboxd.com/Kev. I'm also, if you're a member of the Podzilla Discord, I am in there. You can follow me from Letterboxd from there. You can yell at me about anything I got wrong. I'm in there all the time. I'm at a point with my day job where I am on Discord all day, so come hang out. Um, I host 2 podcasts, Ammonite Movie Night right now. It was called the 2022 Honda Hiatus, but now it is more of a hypersleep. I like to say, Cookie Monster over the last few years has now called cookies a sometimes food. And in that way, Ammonite Movie Night is now a sometimes podcast.
Sometimes podcast.
Whenever my buddy Jared has a moment,
Nice.
that's when you'll see it. So you can sub if you want. I can't make any promises. But my other show, Austin Danger Podcast, we come out every Monday. As you're hearing this, the Scream 4 episode, the 4th in our Screamtober series, has just come out. And the next one will be Scream 5, and then Warren Beatty's Dick Tracy from there. And
I can't
then
wait.
who knows until December when we do the Avatar movies. The show is curated at random unless we say so. So that's a lot of fun.
And the Austin Danger pod is real cool because it's about watching movies that are somehow linked to the Austin Powers series.
We got there. There is only one movie on the wheel that, because we have a giant wheel, over 400 different spokes on it.
Oh, wow.
Totally legit. Not a Google sheet that we then plug a random number into. The only one is Superman 2 because every other Superman movie links. So maybe that's some exclusives for you.
Wow.
Lastly, if you're on Medium, you should follow at Kev Forever on Medium. And who knows what that means.
Awesome. I can't wait to see what you do on Medium. That's going to be cool.
Thank you.
But yeah, honestly, Kev, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. Yeah, be sure to reach out to Kev on Letterboxd in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord already, jump in. There's a link in the show notes. Or message us on socials, Podzilla Pod. We can get you in there. We also just kicked off a Patreon recently. We've done a couple of King Kong episodes that are exclusive to the Patreon. I think it's $5 New Zealand a month at the moment to subscribe to us on Patreon to support the show. And I think that ends up being like $2 or $3 if you're anywhere outside of New Zealand. I don't know what currency's doing at the moment everywhere else, but
I think it's like $4 USD as of today. Not a bad deal.
awesome. Yeah. If you did want to support the show, we'd appreciate it heaps. You can get some access to some cool stuff. But other than that, next episode on the show is another big one, guys. So get ready for this. Godzilla versus Gigan.
Come on.
This is a movie that we've been hyping up for a while because Micah's favorite kaiju of all time is Gigan, the giant green chicken, and he has never seen a movie with him in.
Yeah, when playing the old GameCube Godzilla game. Oh, what was it called?
Destroy All Monsters Melee?
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one. Gigan was always my go-to just because I loved how he looked. The saw blade, the claws, everything. I've never seen a movie, and I'm immensely hyped for this.
This Gigan looks incredible.
Yeah, I can't wait. I've got the synopsis here, and it's Godzilla and Anguirus continue the fight against three-headed King Ghidorah at a cartoonist's theme park. This time, however, Ghidorah is joined by a new foe from across the stars. What in the world? This is gonna be fun.
I didn't even know Anguirus and King Ghidorah were in this.
What are politics? Get it out of here. We're right back into the cartoon world. I love it though.
Right.
Yeah, let's jump into a theme park. But we'll see you guys next week. I reckon let's just go out on the Save the Earth theme because that's a classic, guys.
We have cobalt, it's full of mercury. Too many fumes in our oxygen. All the smog now is choking you and me. Good Lord, where is it gonna end?
That's been Podzilla with your hosts Jasha
And Micah Drake.
Follow along on our socials at PodzillahPod and jump to our Discord via the link in the show notes.
Huge thank you to Cassie Celine, who did our podcast art, and Degora9898, who did our episode thumbnail.
Let's go. And just a disclaimer that any musical sound effects used in this episode belong entirely to the Toho Company. See you guys next episode.